Hiya, and welcome back to Roads Yet Traveled. The game that teaches us that it's always the soft ones who are tops. We're talking about Rune. I swear to God, he's the only top here. Anyways, let's just hop right in. The first inkling of consciousness comes to me in a dream. One of those early morning dreams, where you know you're about to wake up but can't do anything about it. It's not bad per se, but maybe a bit disheartening. A story you will never remember. A fledgling world to be wiped away when the sunlight hits your eyes. I can barely understand this one, and I'm still in it. Something about being late for a date, I think. It's hard to tell, and I think my date is also me. Anyways, the second notion of consciousness comes to me comes in the form of a series of pokes, which I'm sure were meant to be gentle, but are, in fact, not gentle at all. Startled awake, my eyes shoot open, and once again, there is a K-ray not but a foot or so from my face. In a panic, I shoot back, only to be met with an even less than gentle metal wall. Bonk. Oh no! Are you okay? As my senses start to come back to me, unfortunately so, I look around the room. Right. I'm not in the cell anymore. I'm in Rune's room. Our new room. Speaking of, I should respond. He looks worried. And I probably look a little crazy right now. Good morning? Stupid. Stupid. Stupid! Say something normal, damn it! Ow! Sorry, I'm fine. Forgot where I was for a second. I didn't mean to scare you. He looks unconvinced. Maybe still worried a bit. But he concedes a sigh and chuckles a bit. I didn't mean to scare you either. I let you sleep as long as I could, but I gotta go to work soon, and Dr. Merwin will be ready for you soon. Soonish. Merwin? Oh right, he did mention something about tests. Thanks. For waking me up, I mean. How much time do I have? You still have about half a mark. I normally like to get ready in the mornings, though. Hiya. Sorry, maybe I should have let you sleep. No, I have a morning routine too, as it were. I'll get to it then. Stepping out from under the sheets, I notice Rune turning away slightly. Right, clothes on while in the room. Scurrying into the bathroom, to try and avoid causing any more discomfort for him, I turn on the shower and look around while it heats up. Seems like he's already showered today. Guess he's the kind of guy to get up early and get things done. I hope some of that energy can rub off onto me. Mornings are usually so brutal for me. Speaking of, though, I feel okay right now. Besides a minor backache and now sore head. I wonder if it's because the nights are longer here. Maybe I'm finally getting enough sleep. Maybe it's a fluke. But at least being out of that cell is helping my anxiety go down. If only just a bit. Worried about how much time I have, I decide to hop into the shower before it reaches peak sweltering hot and start cleaning off. Hiya. Getting bored, I decide to pick up one of Rune's shampoo bottles and see if any of it's legible. It isn't, but the pictures are fun. Lots of flowers and stuff. To be extra safe, I don't even bother smelling them. I'd love for Doc to tell me if any of them are usable. But that can wait. The only other thing I notice is that while the drainage system does seem to be pretty large compared to showers back home, there is still somehow a lot of fur caught in it. Must just be because Rune has so much of it. I dread seeing what Doc's drain is like. Drying off, I put on my, frankly horrid, clothes and step to check myself out in the mirror. I feel small. I'm only a few inches shorter than Rune, but everything here was made for people just so much taller than me. At least I can reach onto the counters and stuff. It'd be embarrassing if I had to ask for help just like taking something off a table. I try to fix my hair a bit and rearrange my shirt so it doesn't look so big on me. Maybe I should tuck it in? No, I just look ridiculous doing that. Ugh, no one's going to judge my damn fashion. I settle for keeping it untucked, even if it is still too large. All cleaned up, I head out to find Rune on his bed checking something out on his monitor. I take this time to check out the science project on his desk. It looks similar to his current arm, if a bit more disassembled. I wonder if he needs a backup. Surely it wouldn't be a bad idea, but I thought he said they gave him his arm for like work or something. They don't. Playing with one of the fingers, it has a decent amount of resistance to it. It feels like I'm moving a person's finger. It's almost eerie. I'm also surprised by how many ports and cables it has. Seems like a hazard. What if you got snagged on something, or like your arm port got dirty? I wonder if I should ask Rune if he ever cleans his arm. I think he mentioned it's waterproof, but that doesn't sound like a great way to clean it. I can't imagine him using it in the shower. Wait. I also can't imagine him taking it off in the shower. Okay, maybe that's my one dumb question for the day. Hey, Turning to talk to Rune, I'm shocked to find that he, once again, snuck up on me, causing me to jolt back into his desk. Fuck! No! Wait! He reaches out and catches me before I can do too much damage, only knocking over a few tools in my slow descent. My heart is pounding, though. It's too early for this to happen. Twice! We stay stuck in the midst of falling until he clears his throat. Sorry. Lifting me up, we end up but not a few inches apart. I can feel his breath on my face. That smile. That damn smile. Slow at first, but it speeds up as he realizes the distance between us. He looks away a bit flustered, and I step back, giving him some space. It's fine. You scared me is all. You were really good at sneaking up on me. No response. Rune? Are you alright? His eyes flit to me. They're wide and twitchy. Although once he centers on me, they slow down. A fog is lifted, and he relaxes a bit. Did I scare you? Are you okay? Yes. I mean, no, you didn't scare me. Well, you did when you fell. Are you okay? I'm fine, yeah. You just surprised me is all. Sorry. I don't try to do that, but I know I can be very quiet at times. And I'm okay, too. Thank you for asking. He still seems a bit flustered, but I don't push it. I was just checking out this arm here. Is it yours? Oh, yeah. Well, this one is company property, so technically I only own the one here. He points to his own arm. And this is, like, in case I need a backup for a while. That's nice of them, I think. So, are you fixing it, or what do you mean? Oh, well, all these tools. I figured you were doing something to it, like making improvements. Or maybe it wasn't working well, so you had to swap out parts on it. He goes quiet again. Rune? You already told me you've modified your arm. I won't tell anyone, I promise. Did I say that? Oops. Well, it's nothing major. I just managed to remove some limitations on the arm, which allow me more flexibility. And I can safely use it to test electronics, or as a surge protector. Rune, are you telling me that you use your arm as some kind of electrical current tester? Well, it's more of... That is so cool! You've got to show me sometime! He relaxes, and I can even see his tail wagging a bit. I'm glad he can be open to me about this stuff. It's super interesting. Thank you. But please don't tell anyone. They might not understand. Oh, of course, bud. As long as you stay safe and all, but I mean, you're the head of maintenance. I think you know what you're doing. His rapid change in expressions tell me he may not know what he is doing. I try to utter an apology or an excuse or anything, but the words get caught in my throat. I don't know what I've said. I don't know enough about this carrion to be running my mouth like that. Maybe I've become too comfortable in general. I have to check up on some schedule. Update. Things. Oh, fuck. He walks past me and I want to stop him, but I don't know how. I make a vain attempt to reach out, but my hand falls short and I ends up just falling to my side. Damn it. Walking over to my desk, I rearrange some of my possessions. Not really unpacking or taking inventory, just wasting time. A chill creeps down my spine. I still feel like I'm in that cell. Half a mark seems like an exaggeration. Feels like it's been well over a mark by now. Or to make matters worse, I haven't had anything to eat. I'd kill for some toast right now. I thought Rune said he knew what toast was. Speaking of, he's still engrossed in whatever he's taking care of at his desk. I dare not intrude. on the off chance I make another stupid comment and end up making things worse. Looking around this end of the room, it does seem as though he cleaned up a bit this morning. Hiya, don't worry about it. Some of the machinery that was left around is now gone, and some of the sheets have been thrown into what I can only assume is a laundry basket. Another thing I should ask about. I wonder if he'll want his bed back or if we'll just keep things as they are now. I wonder if they'll both smell like him now. Okay, none of those thoughts. Jeez, what a morning. Okay, I have to ask what time it is. Now I'm worried both of us will be late. Hey, Rune. Of course. I try being as loud as I can walking over to him. To not scare him, but he seems focused on what he's doing. Well, here goes nothing. I give him a gentle tap on the shoulder, and immediately I can see a shiver echo down his form. His head snaps to me, eyes once again wide. His expression quickly softens, though. Oh, hey, Tucker. What's up? I was just curious. What time is it? Didn't you say we had to meet up with Doc? Yeah, but that's not until the 9th mark, and it's only... He looks back to the monitor, and his ears fold back. I think it's past the 9th mark. He pulls up his projected monitor and furiously flips through some screens before landing on one he scrolls down. His eyes scan every last line before turning to me with a pale expression. We're late. Oh, should we head out? I'm cut off as he jolts across the room, grabbing tools from here and there before shoving them all into a bag. Although it seems he is still searching for something. Are you looking for something? My ID! It's not where I usually leave it! I can't get back in here without it. With a cursory glance, I check my desk, which is actually his desk, before looking at his desk, which should be my desk to see it resting there. He must have forgotten we swapped beds last night. I grab it for him as we probably should be on our way. Here, Rune. You just put it on the wrong desk. The wrong... Oh! Right. Thanks, but we should head out now. Are you ready? Giving myself a quick pat down, I seem to have all of my 0 possessions and I'm wearing clothes, so yeah. Ready. Just in case, I grab my bag with my notebook. On the off chance Doc says something I need to write down. Due to being late, there are a few more carrion walking the halls than I would have liked. Some, fortunately, are too engrossed in their own worlds to even notice us. Hiya. Most, however, stare. I pretend not to notice, but I can feel every eye on me. Rune doesn't seem to notice, or is too engrossed in his own thoughts to notice, constantly mumbling something under his breath. I'm just glad he hasn't left me behind by accident. Is that it? I can't believe Dr. Merwin is really... by the eye. It's impossible to hear all of them, as most are hushed whispers. But the ones that do speak up all have an accusatory tone. I can tell I am a freak to them, and I doubt that shitty memo that went out this morning did anything. Actually, if anything, I bet it made it worse. Fortunately, though, no one stops us. In fact, most people seemingly get as far away from us as they can if they see us coming. I guess I should be thankful. Making our way past the library and further down another hallway, we come to a fairly unassuming door which Rune swipes us into. Ooh? Damn. Doc's office is like no doctor's office I've ever seen. This looks closer to a mad scientist's laboratory. Doc is a doctor, alright. All of his non-answers about what kind of medicine degree he has is starting to worry me a bit. I wonder if he... Oh, by the heart! I was getting worried. Not time to wonder, as Doc comes bounding around a corner to come greet us. Rune, did something happen? I tried to message you and you didn't respond, and I thought maybe I should come to get you, but it was getting late and Doc, it's okay. I honestly thought it would be like a regular business office. I genuinely thought it would be like a regular business office, maybe like one of those, doctor bed things. Like, bed things that you can find in, like, doctor's offices. Like, maybe one of those in the corner. But, like, the rest is just like a regular office. But no, this is... Doc, it's okay. Rune just got lost in some world and we left later than we would have liked to. It was fine. Merwin looks over both of us, his expression changing to a forced smile before he steps closer and awkwardly hovers near the both of us. Rune's been dead silent since getting here. Turning to him, it seems like he's ready to bolt. Hey Rune, do you need to head out? I'm here with Doc now, I'll be okay. What? Oh, yeah, thanks. He turns to Doc and offers a polite nod before heading out. Goodbye, Rune. Doc waits a few moments after the door closes before leaning down to my eye level and giving me a once-over. seemingly inspecting me for damage or something. Yas. Doc. Are you okay? I was just worried about you this morning. I was unable to sleep last night, and since I no longer can be there for you at all times, I was worried. Especially since you were late today. Did anything happen in the halls? Your heart rate was way too high when you came in. Are you sure you're fine? Right. I forgot about that little quirk of his. Yeah, Doc, I'm fine. Tucker, please. What happened? Was it Rune? What? No, it's just... There were a lot of carrying in the hallway on the way here. It didn't help I could understand them. Doc takes a moment, still just kneeling at eye level with me. Yas. Thank God we have this. Mommy Marrow. He continues looking me over as I take a minute to calm down. I hadn't realized how worked up I had gotten. I'll have to be more careful in the future. I'm sorry, Tucker. I know! I didn't decide it. The wheel! I'm sorry, Tucker. I'll try to make sure you won't have to be afraid just walking the halls. Perhaps tomorrow I should pick you up myself? If you think it'll help, I'd hate to impose. Nonsense. Spending a few minutes dedicating to walking you to and from your room is perfectly fine. Thanks, Marrow. Now then, we still have a lot of work ahead of us today. Is that alright with you? Right. Of course. Let's get to it then. Yes, let's. But first, would you like a small tour, perhaps? I know that this lab might not be as exciting as the pools or the observatories, but I thought you might enjoy at least exploring what you can. That sounds great, Doc. Thanks. Well then, let's start over here. I can show you some of the more interesting machines we have access to here. We get up and head over to a wall of large devices, all plugged into various outlets as well as each other. That is a lot of exposed and messy cords. Is that like a style choice around here? Or are these machines so complicated they need that much power? We've got a machine for everything, really. I'm not sure how helpful an explanation of them all would be, but... Oh! Look! He lumbers over to one of the smaller ones, which is currently emitting a small whirring sound as it seems to be gently shaking. Doc, you say that this isn't exciting, but this is fucking amazing! This one has your blood! What? I mean, this is the machine we are using to learn more about your blood samples. Oh. That makes more sense. I'm not sure he even realizes how strange that sounded. But we move on. He shows me where some inscrutable tools are, as well as a freezer full of various and probably extremely toxic materials are being stored. A drawer full of bandages and band-aids that look extremely large and tough, I assume since they have to stick to fur. Random test tube, oh no. If that's even possible. He casually shows off some larger machines in the back that seem as though they were built into the floor of the room, including some big tube-like thing. He says it's for scanning what we cannot see, so I assume it's like an MRI of some kind. But before I know it, we're back at his desk. Well, is there anything else you think you want to see? In here, of course. No, not right now, but thanks. He smiles and straightens his lab coat. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm almost set up for today. I just need a minute to finish some things. As he walks away to finish preparing for a long day of tests, I find myself sitting next to an array of sharp and scary-looking tools. Tools Doc fortunately doesn't seem intent on using, as he continues checking something on one of the monitors. It seems he has a mix of projected monitor screens as well as normal ones throughout the lab. But no, this lab is sick as hell. In fact, why does one carry need so many monitors? Does he normally have assistants that would help him? I hadn't even thought of that. I hope I didn't cause some caring to lose their job just because they're not allowed to get close to me. I continue to watch Doc work before he walks off to collect some tools from around the room. While I can't see everything he picks up, I don't see anything that looks particularly pointy, so I'm probably fine. As another screen flickers to life, I am curious about how everything is run around here. Talking about that? Pretty sure that's like the MRI machine thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an MRI machine. There's the door. But no, that thing does look sick as hell. I know that they have some kind of supercomputer. Yes! Drink the funny juice. Dr. Merowyn, I drank this funny juice that was on the counter. Oh god, what the fuck? I mean, they must, right? I think I remember Merowyn talking about something like that. Still, I doubt it's as cool as an AI would be. Although those normally go bad in movies and stuff. I'd hate to be... I'm sorry, Tucker. I'm afraid I can't do that. Into space. Mero, I drank this and I flew up. What do? And then casually fucking dies. Although, those are just movies, and this is real. Somehow. Bored, I try to focus on a particular projection that looks to have some interesting looking graphs being displayed on it. Wait. I'm basically just checking out the posters on the walls of a doctor's office, aren't I? Fortunately for me, Doc seems to have finished collecting his tools as he comes over and pulls up a chair next to me. Since I'm not reclined on some horrid examination table with wax paper, it feels a bit more personal. Which is nice, as I feel less exposed. Hey, find everything you need? Ha! Tucker, I don't think there are enough examination tools on this station to fully be able to figure out everything about you. Is that a compliment? Either way, he's probably right. They might as well just call a biologist rather than a doctor. Or, someone more used to finding and working with new species rather than just the intricacies of caring physiology. Man, there's a reason I didn't get into the sciences department back home, huh? Well, I don't know how much I can help, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. To the best of my knowledge, at least. I appreciate that, Tucker, and please, if you think of something you'd like to ask me, feel free, of course. I'm here to help you just as much as you can help me. I can help him? I feel like I've caused more harm than good just by being here, but of course, Doc wouldn't think that. Ah, shit. I think he's just excited to be at the forefront of such a discovery. I, on the other hand, find myself writhing ever so much in my chair. I suppose I'm still a bit nervous about things to come. When was the last time I got a checkup anyways? Far too long, and I don't think this one will count for all too much. Not in a way that would matter. Could they find out if I were sick in some way? Maybe, but I can't imagine how. As Doc finishes setting up, he turns to me. Just from the expression on his muzzle, however, I can tell he knows something is up. Tucker, are you alright? Huh? I think so. Why do you ask? Your heart rate has gone up again, and you're fidgeting. Right. Can't get anything past this guy. Although, right now, I feel most people would be able to tell I am perhaps not doing well. I'm sorry, Doc. I think I'm just nervous. I know we've kind of done this before in the cell, but I can't help it. A disarming smile grows on Doc's face as he looks down at me. There's nothing to be worried about. All you have to do today is just be you. That's what I'm interested in. Okay, Mr. Rogers. And I promise there's nothing too horrible that you will have to go through. Too horrible? Did he mean to say it like that? But he's right. The most I have to do today is sit still and answer questions. Which, to be fair, I have managed to fail at in the past, but I'll try. With a nod, we get back on track. Are you ready, Tucker? Yeah, I think so, Doc. What's up first? Let me see. Well, so I know I just said not to worry about anything, and I don't want you to, but I must ask something of you that you may not like. What? What do you mean, Doc? He turns away, his ears becoming a bit flushed. Oh, it's the blush sprite! It's the blush sprite! Like, you can see right there. Turns away, his ears becoming a bit flushed. What could he possibly ask for? Oh, I think I know. If you remember when, well, maybe not, but, I believe I informed you that when you were brought in, the emergency medical team may have done a preliminary examination of you, but, it was very rudimentary, and, well, I could only examine you so well in that cell, and maybe I was hoping that I could possibly... Oh, by the heart! Yup. He's asking exactly what I think he is. I mean, it's completely reasonable, and the fact that he is getting so embarrassed about it is really endearing. But I can understand it. Asking another species to do something that is obviously embarrassing without knowing how they'll react can't be easy. Especially since he knows that when it came up earlier, it was... awkward, to say the least. I'm not particularly happy with the idea of fully stripping and being observed, but from a medical standpoint, I understand completely. He composes himself and gently focuses his eyes on me. Tucker, I'm sorry I have to ask this, but as a medical professional, it would be of great service to me if I could examine your body. Jeez, might be dinner first. Yeah, I figured as much. Just kidding, though. You what? I mean, it makes sense. Please don't forget, I know some things about medical examinations, and while embarrassing, it is understandable. He still seems flustered, but his expression quickly changes to what I would equate to a normal smile for him. It would help me greatly if I could. I know that we did some of it before in your cell, but now with my tools it will be much more informative. I promise that anything I learn will be solely for medical purposes. Ha! Don't make it weird. It's fine, I understand. Just make sure the door is locked and I'll, just does a full Sailor Moon transformation into nothing. I'll, go get undressed, I guess. He offers a nervous chuckle before gesturing to a particularly tall desk that I quickly scurry behind. Maybe I should try to make small talk. To make it less awkward? Hey, so it's only fair that I learn about carrying anatomy too after this, right? Haha. The mommy marrow being here doesn't help. Mommy marrow, you are not helping. Oh my god. Okay. Automod, we need you. What the fuck did I just say? A stunned marrow turns to me before sputtering out. I could pull up some images and, no, of course, it's fine. I'll find some references for you. I'll also find some references for you if you desire. Oh god. Such unpure thoughts in front of Mommy Marrow. Hey. Oh my god. I desire to slam my head through a fucking wall, but I don't think Doc would much appreciate that. Deciding that small talk isn't so much my thing, I continue stripping down until I get to just my underwear, which I cautiously decide to keep on for now. Perhaps he doesn't need to know that much. Giving myself a preliminary once-over, I don't see many changes. Most of my bruises are gone, but otherwise I look about the same. Well, except for my scar. Wait, where is it? Looking at my shoulder, I can barely see the scar now. I'll drink the weird juice on the counter right there. On the desk counter thing. It was small before, but now? It's barely a mark. I wonder if they did something to it, or maybe it was just never a big wound to begin with. A scar might have been cool, though. I see Doc fumbling with some books and cross-referencing something on a monitor before speaking up. You ready for me, Doc? He has to catch himself before peeking out from behind the monitor. For a moment, nothing happens. It's as if silence has taken the room. But eventually, he lets out a sigh and greets me with a smile. Yes, just a minute, Tucker. I appreciate your cooperation so much. Jeez, what a smooth talker. Doesn't he know I'm already undressed? Heh. I sit back down next to him as he puts on some, frankly massive, gloves before turning to me. Hang on. I'm wearing a bracelet. I can do it. You ready? Wait. Hang on. Get ready for prostate exam. Tucker, I know we have done some of this before. But I would like to once again thank you for this once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-species history opportunity to examine you. Heh, don't make it weird, Merowyn. It's fine. I think I was due for a checkup anyways. He gives me a confused look before I realize that I've said another unfamiliar word. Sorry, I was making a joke. Like this, right now? Where you inspect me and make sure I'm alright? That kind of meeting? Ah, you didn't get it. I'm starting to feel that my comedic talent is being thrown to the wolves here. But now's not the time to worry about that. So, well, where would you like to start? Right, of course. If you don't mind, Tucker, could you stand just there, please? Just here, please? I stand at attention for him, although I still find myself standing fairly defensively. It's not something I'm doing on purpose, just, I think being in this situation has put me a bit on edge. You can never outrun Automod. Automod can run 10 times the speed of light. You can never outrun them. It's not something I'm doing on purpose, just I think being in this situation has put me a bit on edge. It won't be the last time. Oh no! No matter how much I trust Marrow. He must notice as well as he sighs and crouches down to meet me at eye level. I manage to look back at him. Tucker, we don't have to do this now if you aren't comfortable. Perhaps you would like to wait for another time? Or would going through the steps of the process make it better for you? Everything we do here today is for you, but I don't want it to be at your expense. His disarming nature is still something so amazing to me as I find my muscles loosening and my thoughts returning. No, I know this is important to you, and I want to help. It's the least I can do. Tucker, you don't... Merowyn, it's fine. I'm just... nervous. This has to strike you as weird, no? I mean, I'm an alien. The fact I can even understand Corain is a miracle. The nature of this isn't lost on me, Tucker. I'm simply choosing to look at the positives of it. Here, how about I explain everything as I do it? And we can take it as slow as you would like. There's no rush. We have all the time in the world. Which world? Thank you, Merowyn. Alright, let's continue. A soft smile ensures my safety as he gently reaches toward me. I will still go through the steps as I would any other patient. And I'll be sure to explain everything before I do it. Now, do you think you could give me one of your hands? I would like to examine them up close. He hovers a massive paw in front of me and patiently waits. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this. Drop me like one of your carrying girls. Perhaps it's just being so exposed, but something is holding me back. Hang on, I'm going to turn down the music a bit. Here we go. Eventually, however, I reach out a hand and lay it in his. Once again, taking the opportunity to feel his paw. Still soft. Still so different. He gently rolls my hand around in a procedure I swear we've done before and expects everything from my fingernails to the veins underneath. He asks me to open and close it a few times, and eventually he finds my heartbeat on my wrist. To which he eerily comments on how it's slower than before. Would it be alright if I were to examine the rest of your arm now? I would like to see the limits of its rotation, as well as how your scar is doing. I nod, holding my arm out to my side, which he graciously takes as his cue. He slowly moves my arm as if it were a toy, trying to figure out its limits, but never pushing it too far. He rubs a finger over my scar and leans in to get a better view. I can feel his breath on my chest as he closely examines my shoulder. If my heartbeat was slower before, it certainly isn't now, as he is almost literally breathing down my neck. Satisfied, he backs off, leaving me with one disproportionately warm shoulder. After a bit more general poking and prodding, he pulls out a stethoscope and steps behind me. The frigid metal causes me to shiver, which I have to explain to a distraught Merowyn is fine. He listens to my breath for a long time, with what feels like a minute or so at least, before stepping back around in front of me. I hadn't realized it, but I've calmed down sufficiently. In fact, I wasn't even listening to what he was saying. I was just on autopilot. He's staring at me, waiting for something. Sorry, what was that, Marrow? I asked if I could listen to your heart, Tucker. Perhaps take your blood pressure again? Right, of course. Makes sense. Yeah, sure, please go ahead. He smiles and I lift my arm for him, to which he wraps gently with the device. He takes a deep breath and leans in close to me, just listening. The room is so faint I can hear my own heart in my eyes as I find myself surprisingly calmed by everything. There is no wall, there is nothing to run from, no alarms nor classes to be late to. Just this moment. And then, it passes. It sounds good, Tucker. And your blood pressure seems to be within a decent deviation from before. Well, I'd presume it to be okay. It's barely changed. Tucker? Right. Your guess is as good as mine. May I... Would you mind raising your arms, Tucker? I would like to inspect your chest more. Like this? I say as I raise my arms above my head. That is fine. May I? Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, shit. It takes him a few seconds to act himself, but eventually he reaches out a massive paw and gently puts a hand over where my heart is. It's almost enough to cover my whole chest. I can feel him poking at my side and running his fingers along my ribs, carefully testing out how much each can be pushed and moved. I look down, almost enamored, a similar expression on his face, although our eyes do not meet. He ends up accidentally tapping an exposed claw against a sensitive patch of skin, causing me to jump, which of course met with a slew of apologies. Wherever he touches leaves an undeniable warmth that is missed the second contact is lost. Carefully, he inspects every muscle and patch of skin he can find. I swear, he could be counting every hair for all I know. Leaning in close, I can once again feel his breath. I end up turning away. He does, however, stop after some time as he retracts his paw. Thank you. I hope that wasn't too much. No. It was fine, Merowyn. He gives me one last pat on my shoulder before getting up to record everything on his monitor. I take this time to reclaim my seat and just watch him work. Although I'm starting to realize that without my shirt, it is pretty cold here. Hey, Doc? He looks up fully from his work to face me. Yes, Tucker? How much more of the, physical examination do you think you need to get done for today? Oh no! It's a bit chilly in here. Oh, of course. Yes, feel free to put your clothes back on. Sorry. It was fine, really. That being said, we both turn away from each other as I scuttle over to my clothes and hastily get dressed. Heading back, it seems that Doc has finished up his notes and is ready to continue. How are you feeling? We can stop for the day if that was too much. No, it's fine. Maybe we could just take a minute? What is next, anyways? Of course. Let me see. He turns back to his monitor and checks off a few things as more and more screens appear. It doesn't look like a good system. If I'm going to be honest, all of the pop-ups seem more annoying than not, and I can barely figure out what he's trying to search for. Eventually, a bulleted list comes up, and he scrolls a large finger down until he stops at a point. Yes, well, I was wondering if I could inspect some of your sensory organs, if that were okay. My what? Oh, like my eyes and stuff. I suppose that's fine. Sure thing. What are you thinking? Well, just a rudimentary scan is all. I just would like a closer look. See if I can't figure out how you work on the inside as well. I cock my head at that comment, but I guess that's about normal. That's about normal for weird things for Doc to say. He takes a small device off of his desk and walks back to me, standing by idly as if waiting for something. You forget something? What? No, I was just... May I? Inspect you again, that is. Right, he's almost as nervous as I am. At least he's doing a good job of pretending he is. But does he really have to ask again? I guess he's just being kind. Yes, you may. He smiles as he steps in to begin his further inspection. He takes a few seconds to explain the procedure before flashing a small light in my eyes and using a tool to look down my ears. He carefully tilts my head this way and that before smiling and writing down more notes. Asking me simple questions about how I hear or smell things. It's not a long examination. I think he's sparing me from that for now. But he does get a good idea of how everything works. There's a lot of him turning away to type something up and him quietly asking me to move my head this way and that. You, learn anything interesting yet? Oh my, yes. Eerily similar is how I'd put it. Yeah? Indeed. While they may be in different shapes and sizes, it seems as though we do indeed have some very similar ways of interacting with the world. Yeah. At least in terms of our senses. Your eyes and ears seem to have a similar structure to our own. Minus the, design, of course. Even your mouth and nose are similar if you are describing them correctly. Well, I'm no doctor, but I explained them the best I could. As far as I'm concerned, you are the most knowledgeable being about your species on this station. I know that was a compliment, but I gotta be careful about that more than anything. If I make a bad joke about something, I could seriously mess up Doc's research, or worse. After our little exchange, Doc continues writing some notes before taking a small sample of my blood for more testing. It's annoying, but understandable. At least this time I can see as he takes the small vial and plugs it directly into that same machine from earlier. I decide to ask him what it is doing, but he just responds, analyzing it, or whatever that means. It's fine. I probably wouldn't understand anyways. A knock on the door does break me out of my negative thoughts, though, as my eyes shoot to the, what I thought was locked, door. Merowyn, however, doesn't react as intrigued as I am, as he just casually walks over and opens it. I can't see who's on the other side, but after a short conversation, he comes back with a small tray of some food. Was that Maruk? No, sorry, Tucker. You know, if it was Maruk, I'd have welcomed him inside. That was one of my assistants delivering breakfast for you. And look! Now you have breakfast! Oh, that's great! But, are we going to eat here, or should we head back to the room? Oh, no need to leave just yet. You can eat here just fine. I thought you didn't like to eat where you work. He freezes again. Damn it. I'd almost rather not catch him in his lies, no matter how small they are. It just worries me what else he might not be telling me. Did I say that? Well, I'll make an exception for you, Tucker. Anyways, it's not like we can go eat elsewhere right now. Thanks for reminding me. I mutter with the slightest bit of disdain. The conversation dies down after that. I think Doc might have realized what had happened as he goes about cleaning up a bit and taking some last few notes. He's interesting, to say the least. I think I can trust him. I do trust him. Just, I wish he wouldn't lie to protect me so often. Or at least not lie to me so often. Little things like that, whatever that was, I can look past. But if something like that list of rules comes up again, we might have to talk. As I continue to eat the food I shouldn't be eating in here, he finally comes back to face me, a smile plastered on his face. If he's willing to move past that, I guess I'll try it as well. I didn't know you had assistants. What? Well, I suppose I never brought it up, no, but did you think I ran this whole lab myself? I mean, kinda, yeah. No, they just aren't allowed in right now. I figured it would be much easier if it were just you and me for the next few days. That makes sense, thanks. Of course. Speaking of, though, I have a schedule prepared for you if you'd like me to read it to you. Oh, really? Sure, yeah. Well, today I figured I would try to keep it as easy as I can for you. And just go over some simpler tests and maybe one longer one, but only if you are feeling up to it. No pressure, really, Tucker. Maruk will be here around lunch, and then I have also prepared a small presentation for you. If you would like. A presentation? Yes, some small things I thought you might be curious to learn about is all. That sounds great, Marrow. Thank you. Then tomorrow there will be some more tests. Some that might be a bit more trying. But once again, there is no pressure. It would help immensely, though, if we could do them, however. But that is tomorrow, so do not worry about it. That's a weird way of brushing it under the rug. But he's right. I can't worry about that just yet. Knowing Doc, I'm sure when he says trying, that just means I'll be slightly discomforted. Still, I appreciate not having to worry about those right now. And then let's see... Oh yes, on Thursday we will... Wait. What did you just say? On Thursday we will... Thursday? I don't understand, Tucker. Did I say something wrong? Thursday! Doc, how many days are there in a week? 7. And what are they? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Alright. That is beyond creepy. What is, Tucker? What's wrong? The days! They're just like how they were back home! Wait, what do you mean? Like, you have 7 days in a week here, and there were 7 days in a week where I came from as well! You even have the same names for the days! Doc just looked stunned. He must think this is some kind of poor attempt at humor, and I don't blame him. I'm just as confused as he is about all of this. So, let me understand this. You're saying that the days here have the exact same name as the ones you do back home? It sounds like it. It sounds like... Oh! Tucker, have you considered that maybe they don't? Huh? What do you mean? Well, you've said before that you have never heard us speak in any language but your own, correct? Yeah? So? Well, why would this be any different? By whatever gift you can understand us, it may have just have translated the words we use for days into how you would hear them. Oh, right. That makes more sense. Still. Maybe you could write them down for me? Then I could check. I thought you couldn't read our writing, Tucker. What? Oh shit, right. Well, it's still weird that there are 7 days. I suppose I can concede that is true. Having the same number of days in a week as your home planet is surprising. But I imagine it will only help you understand things in the future. Yeah, you're probably right. We both take a moment of silence to collect our thoughts. This messed up communication really goes both ways, huh? But Doc is probably right. I am just understanding that they are calling them a... But Doc is probably right. I am just understanding that they are calling them a certain day, and I can somehow understand that I have understood everything else that they've said so far. How, though? I still have no idea. Where were we? Ah, yes. The schedule. Shall I get back to it? Right, yeah, of course. Sorry for that pause. It's quite alright, Tucker. Yes, well, on Thursday we will be doing some physical tests and perhaps seeing how well you can work in different environments. Different environments? Ah, yes, like extreme heat or cold. Zero gravity, etc. Extreme heat and cold don't exactly sound like a great idea to me, but messing around in zero G sounds awesome. Unless they decide to throw me out of the ship, that wouldn't be great. And on Friday we have soup! Is that all it says? I swear, I double-checked this list. Oh, by the heart, did I get it mixed up with your food allowances? Doc frantically flips through the pages of his notes trying to find what he was looking for, eventually moving to his computer to check his monitor for any sign of an answer. I might have to get back to you about the rest of the schedule. I'm not so sure that I, wrote it all out correctly. That's fine, no worries. So, for the rest of today, though, just some easy tests? Yes! In fact, if you are done with breakfast, we can continue with those for the day. After cleaning up my plates, Doc brings them to the door and leaves them on a desk, before heading over to some machines and gesturing for me to follow. So I said today's tests are more to get a baseline than anything. At worst, maybe another needle if you think you can handle it. I think I can. Good. Now, step up here, please. He pats at a metal plate on the floor, and I step on, noting that it moves slightly in response to my presence. Oh, is it a scale? Looking around, I see, well, what I assume are numbers being displayed on a little screen in front of me. Oh man, 2 symbols that look like a T upside down and an exclamation point. I've gained weight! Looking at Doc, he's just taking some notes and hitting some buttons on the scale. So, am I healthy, Doc? I'm afraid you'd have to tell me that, Tucker. Friday is now soup day? Haha! According to my definitions, you're severely underweight and you have a horrible fur condition. But I'm not so sure my metrics would apply to you. Yeah, I don't think so. If it helps at all, I think I might be a bit overweight. Nothing to be concerned about, but, I could afford to lose a few pounds. A few what? Oh, pounds, a measurement of weight. Ah, I see. Well, I'm not going to lecture you on that. He says as he slaps his gut with his free hand. It's nice to be able to share even a small laugh with Doc, and I'm glad he can joke about such things. I'm sure he takes care of himself, though. But thank you for letting me know about your weight. I'm just writing the numbers down, but without your input, I can't really figure out much more. Like, you've told us your age, but without references to your physical development, that number doesn't mean too much. And the same goes for this. I can't imagine how confusing all of this must be, well, I mean, from a scientific standpoint at least. You have such a small sample size to work with, and you're trying to figure out so much. It is quite the task. Yeah, so if you have questions, please ask. Just know that I might not be able to answer them all. Picking up on my accidental self-deprivation, or at least my mood change, Doc moves in a bit. Of course, Tucker, you've been nothing but wonderful about all of this. Thank you. A small smile creeps onto my face, and I give him a small nod. Nah, you want to see an MC that isn't a twink? Yeah, human MC. Oh, yeah, human MC. I think the only one... Hang on, hang on. Like... Oh my god. Oh my god, like... They're all twinks. They all are. The impossible has happened. He helps me down off of the scale, and we head over to another fairly innocuous tool hanging against the wall. Do you mind taking your shoes off, actually? I was hoping to get a measurement of your height, if you don't mind. Taking off my worn shoes, I put my back against the wall and follow Doc's instructions as he guides me on how to stand. Extracurricular activity is another... Nah. Yeah. Technically, Eric, that's the default MC name, I'm pretty sure. Last time I checked it was. Yeah, Eric... He, like, isn't a twink, he's more of a twunk. Or just standard build. It seems far more complicated than need be until he realizes that I don't have ears that poke up, and he just lowers the bar until it's flush with my head. Well, how short am I? Compared to carrying heights? I would definitely be concerned about your growth, but for humans? Well, you tell me. Right. Just a bit shorter than average, but nothing of note. Oh, so humans are normally shorter than Karain. That feels like an insult to all of humanity. But I guess he is right. Still. I guess on average, but there have been people almost twice as tall as me. Really? Fascinating. Well, as I hope you've noticed, Karain can vary in size, but are usually about Maruk's height. If not a bit shorter. Oh, so you are tall for a Karain then? Yes, indeed. How does Tyr feel about that? Oh, he manages. He might be short for a Karain, but when I'm around, no one brings it up. I can imagine. I did want to ask, though, Tucker. Since you brought it up, I had another question, if I may. Actually, what is the national average height? Hang on. You've... I was curious, so I searched it, and now I know. The average male height for a human is 5'9". I am an inch shorter than the national average height, and yeah, sure, what is it? Fuck. You brought up your age earlier, and I was curious if you could perhaps expand on the human life cycle? Yeah, 5'9" is the average. Life cycle? How do I explain this? Like, at what age you are considered an adult? And how long you are expected to live? Does that make more sense? Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure the human brain doesn't finish developing until we're about 25 or something. So let's just say that for adults. And well, I think most people... I'm like I said, like an inch shorter than the national height. And well, I think most people live till they're 80? Maybe a bit more if you're lucky. Oh my, really? That's not very long. Most Carrion live to be well into their thousands. You motherfucker! Donate some age to us humans. Donate some number age to humans, you motherfucker. Along with some height. They're what? Sorry, Tucker. I couldn't resist. Wait. You were messing with me? Damn, Doc. I'd expect that from Maruk, but not from you. Well, I have to entertain myself somehow. Right, but yes, I wasn't kidding about the shorts part. The average carrying lifespan is about 180 years. Oh, thank God. And sometimes longer. Oh my God. Most live into their thousands. Jesus. Damn. Wow, really? That is impressive. I suppose it is now. Put into the context of things. Damn, that's long. No wonder they have such impressive scientific advancements. So wait, are you considered young then? You're only, what, 33? 34. And no, not really. I'm still well an adult by carrying standards. So are the rest of your guardians. Huh, guess that makes sense. I mean, they all have pretty impressive jobs and all. Still, all that time. Tucker? What? What is it? Would you like to talk about this? I noticed you were, well, not doing well. Not doing... Oh, right. Fuck. That really is kind of creepy at times. The looming, the heart rate monitoring, all of it actually. Oh no, not really. Not right now, at least. Do you mind if we move on, in fact? Of course, Tucker. He walks me back to the central table and logs all of what he's learned so far. Or at least I imagine that's what he is doing. Actually, now I'm curious about it. Hey, Merwin? Yes? Can I ask you what you were writing? Of course. I'm just writing down my notes, adding them to your file, and seeing if there are any other results from any of the earlier tests. Earlier tests? Yes. Mostly your blood tests. Makes sense. It's good I have my own file, though. The human lie detector. No, we already got that. Her name is Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender. No, okay. Azula can probably beat Merwin, but we have a human lie detector, and her name is Toph Bei Fong from Avatar The Last Airbender. That motherfucker's... Wow. In case I were to have another medical incident while here. Wait. I've had 2 already, haven't I? Sorry, I got another question. No worries, Tucker. What is it? When I first got here and got, well, apprehended. Yes. Well, I got a pretty bad cut, but now it's mostly gone. Was I carrying medicine or... yes. Seems like maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. Yeah, how long are their years? Doc gets up from his monitor and turns to me, leaning in just a bit. That was the emergency team's doing. In a panic, they used a device on you to seal your wound shut. Mind you, I was not consulted on this as I was not present, and I would not have recommended its use if I were. But since you were losing blood and they saw no alternative, they acted. Why not? Didn't it work? Well, yes, and I'm glad for it. I'd hate for you to have a scar from that. Well, a physical one at least. But the machine had only been used on carrying previously, so using it on an alien was very risky. Who knows what side effects you could have had, or how dangerous it could have been for you. Can I see it? Huh? No, you cannot see. It left no scars. What? No, sorry, the machine. Oh, yes, I believe I have one lying around here. Getting up, he goes to a few drawers before coming back to me with a surprisingly small device. This is an auto-stitcher, although the name belies its true functionality. What it's actually doing is connecting skin tissues and trying to create a flawless bridge between a cut. It merely looks as though it were stitching while being used. It's not a pleasant process, mind you, but it is fast. So they used that on me? Doesn't look too dangerous. Well, it can just as easily cause damage when not used correctly. You do not want to see what it looks like when someone accidentally stitches their paw to their leg. That's never fun to clean up. Ah. Well, that is impressive. We didn't have anything like that back home. Not that I know of, at least. Just good old normal stitches for us. We still use normal stitches as well, mind you, sometimes. Auto stitchers aren't cheap. Is anything on the station cheap? Not really, no. Well, maybe some things, but nothing important. I take it a lot of things around here are important. Yes. There was fascinating research being done here daily, not just by the carrion you've met. Yeah, about that, Doc. I was wondering, could you tell me about some of that? Or at least, what goes on here? Why do you ask? That felt cold. Well, I'm just curious. All I know is that you're the head doctor and that the chief was working on something big before I got here in whatever department he works in. What does he do exactly? Professor Seno works in the particle physics lab. Mind you, he also works on advanced robotics, computational astrophysics, neural-based AI systems, synthetic materials, and biotics, as well as a few other things in his free time. He's a doctor in all of those things? Well, no, he's 147, Tucker. He has hobbies. Damn! Hobbies? Yes, while he may not be an expert in those fields, he is still highly regarded. If you must know, though, he is at the top of his field in particle physics, advanced robotics, and neural-based systems. That is way too much to take in. Still, that's beyond impressive. It seems like Tyr really is all he seems to be. So, is the project he's working on in the physics field, then? I can't tell you that, Tucker. Not yet. Worth another shot. But really, Doc, that's amazing. And he taught you? Huh? I mean, he is your father, yes? Did he teach you his hobbies? Oh, Professor Seno has taught me a great deal of things, but he allowed me to focus on medicine. Advanced physics usually goes over my ears a bit. Why does he call him that? Professor Seno, isn't he just his dad? Ah, here's someone trying to run. He said I could call him by his first name. Surely Marrow can too, right? Maybe I shouldn't ask that, though. It could be a sore subject. Well, maybe you can tell me more about something else. Like, can you tell me more about neurals, maybe? Did Tyr even ever teach you about those? Did I not explain them well enough before? What else are you curious about? Well, you said that they can be used to do some work that monitors do, but it was a bit vague. I was wondering if you could maybe explain it a bit more. Sure. Well, the main use of neurals is to integrate with technology and allow for greater use of some tools. For example, bionic limbs, one would be able to use a simple model without a neural. But with a neural, a greater variety of models are available. And if someone without a neural were to implant a newer prosthetic, they might just suffer from a lack of functionality. Nothing fatal, mind you. Is he trying to say that they are dependent on how much you can afford? I'm sure that's just my human adult mind trying to put a definition to it. But it does all seem very expensive. Especially after what Rune said, too. Would he have been stuck with some shitty non-functional arm if he wasn't employed? Sorry, I'm still a bit confused. So, is it hard to get a neural? Are they expensive, or... Well, most people don't really need to get a neural, mind you. The fact that most of the carrion you've met have one so far is very surprising. It's not something a civilian would need in the day-to-day. Unless, of course, they needed a new limb, or to integrate with some new machine. What do you mean by integrate? Have you seen how Maruk works? What do you mean? His monitor. It only displays a few screens. And yet he uses more options than that? Oh, so I wasn't imagining that. Yeah, I think so. Why? Well, that is how his neural is interfacing with his monitor through his eye. And while most people have monitors, not everyone has the kind of model that would be enhanced by neural usage. So, is it mainly monitors and biotics that need neurals to function, or is there other stuff? The only reason you'd need a neural is if you were getting a biotic prosthetic. They just also help with some other more advanced monitors and military-grade hardware. Ah, the military. I guess I knew they had one since Maruk is a lieutenant or whatever, but still! With 3 habitable planets, I can't imagine it's always an easy thing to take care of. I wonder if they've ever had a war in space yet. I hope not. I mean, it would be kind of cool, though. In a morbid kind of way, where dogs are shooting lasers from spaceships and... Tucker? What? Shit. I was too busy daydreaming about space buds, the Alrain Wars, to hear what he said. Yeah, sorry, I was, It's fine, Tucker. I figured. I can feel my face becoming flushed for some damned reason. Why is that so embarrassing? I said he called me out on it, but more so that he expected it. I was just curious if you had any other questions. We talked for so long that Maruk will be here soon. I might have to squeeze in another test after lunch. Other questions? He hasn't been super specific about neurals, but I guess he might not understand all of it himself. Maybe there's something else I can ask? Oh! Hey, Doc. I do have another question if you don't mind. Of course, Tucker. What is it? Does Tyr have a neural? No. Why? Well, you said that they can be used to integrate with monitors and scientific hardware. Wouldn't that be useful for him? Ha! Tucker, that's why I'm around. Wait, what? What do you mean? If he needs something done with the neural, he'll usually just ask me to do it. What? But aren't you busy with your work? Well, sometimes yes, but it's okay. As far as I'm concerned, the work he's doing is far more important than the research being done here. At least until you showed up, of course. That being said, I still do need to help him out every once in a while. Does Doc not value his work, or is he just serious about how important Tyr's work is? I'm surprised that he'd go so far as to drop what he's doing at any given moment. But I suppose it's a chain of command kind of thing. Anyways, Doc did say he has assistants, so I imagine they just pick up the work for him when he is not here. Well, I'd love it if you could tell me about it sometime, but I understand it's all very secretive right now. It is, but do not fear. As soon as the opportunity arrives, I will let you know what I can. How many people know what Tyr is doing anyways? I know Maruk and Rune don't, and they seem fairly knowledgeable about most things. Well, some things. Very few people right now, Tucker. It's nothing to be worried about, though, if you are. It's more due to the fact we still don't know if the test was a success. Oh, right. Is Tyr still upset about that? You could say that. He's occupied working on it, so no need to worry. Yeah, none of what he said assuaged my intrigue about anything. But I won't push it. Doc doesn't seem like the kind of person to gossip. Well, actually, at least not gossip too much. Alright, I'll get off your tail about it. Did you have anything else planned for today? You said Maruk might be here soon, right? Do you think we could do more tests to help me find out what I can and can't eat? No worries, Tucker. You did not bother me one bit, and yes! Maruk should be arriving shortly. As far as tests go, they might have to wait until tomorrow. I had other things planned for today, sorry. It's fine, no rush. I don't think he understood me, as he gives me a fledgling smile before turning back to his monitor to finish writing some things down. Damn learning AI. I'm not even sure how to begin to explain every saying or expression that might accidentally bump out of my mouth. Jump. I can barely stop myself half the time. It's not an issue, I just have to be more careful, I guess. Merwin slowly turns to the door before sauntering over to check who it is. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Ah! Ah! Not much can be said, if anything at all, so... Yeah, stay safe, have a good night. And I will see you all tomorrow.